What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Welcome back to another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the mastery skills available in the Call of Dragons. Now, we have just entered the season of strife and the skills has been shown to us. Today, we're going to take a look at which one is going to be best for your heroes. This is going to be a quick guide. We still have to test these skills on the field to see how they work properly. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more content. And without wasting any more time, guys, let's get this video started. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, this is day number 1 of the brand new season. We're gonna take a look at the mastery skills in the Call of Dragons. We have the Protector quest that we have to do, and here are some instructions if you want to see them. More instructions are listed over here as well. For today, we're gonna take a look at all of these skills one by one and see where they fit. Now, this is gonna be the first guide. Of course, we're gonna need some testing on the open field to see which one fits where. Now, before we get started with the video, there is something that you need to know first. You need to know how skills stack in the Call of Dragons. Once you know how to do that, you should be good to go. Here are 2 ways you can see if a skill is going to stack or not. The first way is if 2 skills are permanent, they are going to stack with each other. If 2 skills are permanent, they will stack. The next one is as follows. If 2 skills are temporary, the one with the highest buff is going to overwrite the one with the weakest buff. So that is something you have to keep in mind when you pick these skills. Some skills here require a trigger chance. Those are skills that are not temporary. It means they will overwrite something that you already have. So for now, we're just gonna go over all these skills and then see which one is very good. Let me know down below which one you're gonna pick once you unlock all of them. Okay, Warriors of Tamaris, let's get this party started. We're gonna start off with the first skill here on the top left, known as Clear-Sighted. This one is for Oro. It says, increases Legion gather speed by 10%, load capacity by 10%, and mana gather speed by an additional 10%. We have entered a season where you need a lot of farm accounts, so this is going to be excellent for all of your farm accounts. You can also have this on your main account. However, I think you can only get 5 mastery skills, and I think you're better off putting them on your heroes on the field. Now, if your heroes, if your enemies have all been locked up in their starting regions and they cannot get out, well, I guess this could be a skill you can use. How can you use this skill? You can put it on your gathering hero and just gather a lot of mana from the Alliance resource pit. This is pretty nice. The next one on the list is also similar to the first one. It is a gathering skill again. This one comes from Kela, increases Legion load capacity by 30%. Should be good for your farm account or for those Alliance resource pits where you can gather plenty of resources. You can send your marches there and just leave them there for a day. You come back a rich person. Next on the list, we have the Winged Embrace. This is where things starts to get interesting. Legion gains 20% march speed and takes 10% less damage. Well, look at that, guys. Isn't this awesome? The good thing is this skill can be used with pretty much any hero. It is not locked to a different troop type. Where can you put this skill? Could be useful on a Bakshi Emrys for killing farmers. You can switch out Bakshi's second skill, the one for peacekeeping, and then put this skill over there. 10% damage reduction, 20% march speed. You have a super fast Bakshi and Emrys just running around destroying everything. You can also use this on your mages. However, there are better skills that you can use on your mages to get more damage. You can use it on your archer as well if you want to get some march speed. But I think there are better options when we go down the list. Next, we have Aerial Formation. Increases Legion attack by 10%. If the Legion is composed entirely of flying units, units gain 10% defense. This skill seems okay, but you're gonna need some flying units to take advantage of it. As of right now, the Celestials are probably the best flying units in the game, so this skill could be useful with Elilia and Athea. Elilia and Athea is very powerful because they have more attack and more defense. And look over here, you're boosting those 2 statistics again. So this could be something. You could also use this on like a Syndrion, especially if you're gonna be using your flying unit for the Archer faction. When you run out of Spearmen, you could put this on a Syndrion. It could work quite well, but I think there are better options down the list. Aerial formation can also be useful on your Forest Eagles. We're gonna move on to the next one. The Dream Omen. Legion has 20% chance to remove a debuff effect when hit with a normal attack. This effect can be triggered once every 5 seconds. I don't think I would put this on any of my ranged units, because I would rather put something that will let me do a lot of damage. This is more like a defensive skill. Could be useful on an infantry, but you know, infantry are not going to last on the field. Let's say your infantry dies within 15 seconds. So you could trigger the skills maybe 3 times. Doesn't look too promising, but it's okay. So I think, no, I would put this one away. We go on to the next one. What is it about? Legion magic units gain 10% magic attack and 10% HP. Now we're talking, guys. Here is a fantastic skill you can put on Lilia's second skill. This can do quite well over there. Or you can swap one of the Walder. For those of you who are free to play, if you don't have Lilia, you can use this skill on Walder. Let's go check out Walder, see what skill you can take out. There is a Walder skill that provides you with a shield. I think you can remove that one. Is it this one? Yep, when taking hero skill damage, Legion receives a shield that can absorb a large amount of damage, shield factor 600. This effect can be triggered once per 20 seconds. So if you're a free-to-play player, you should try and look into that skill for, is it Mr. Alwyn? And then put it here on your Walder. It's going to make him stronger. Your Walder and Velin is going to be super powerful. So we're going to go back over here to the mastery skill and keep the process going. So we were looking at wield shield or wield shield. Legion magic units gain 10% magic attack, 10% HP. There you go, guys. Walder, skill number 4, you can swap it with this one and get some good value. You can also use it on a Lilia Thea. I think this is going to work well on Lilia Thea or maybe Lilia Velin. Just take out Lilia's second skill and you're good to go. How about we look at another good skill over here. When Legion has over 50% units remaining, they gain synergy and passion for 3 seconds when launching normal attack. Synergy, hero skill damage dealt plus 30%. Passion, rage accumulation speed plus 30%. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be the best mastery skill we have on the list over here for any heroes that can do a lot of rage skill. This thing is super awesome. But before you get excited, this skill is not permanent, which means it's not going to stack with something that you already have. Now you're going to have to do the testing first to see if they stack. But I can bet it is going to override something that you already have. So when Legion has over 50% units remaining, they gain synergy and passion for 3 seconds when launching normal attack. Effect can be triggered once every 5 seconds. And there you go, guys. You can see the skill is not permanent. As of right now, there is the Lilia and the Thea March, which is super popular in the game right now. It's probably the best mage march we have in the game right now, Lilia and Thea. And if you look at Thea Awakening, Thea has a 15% synergy, which gives you 15% hero skill damage dealt. And over here we have another synergy that is 30%. So this is stronger than the Thea's 15% synergy, which means it is going to override the Thea 15% synergy. Of course, we need to test to confirm this, but I'm gonna bet this is gonna override Lilia Thea. On the contrary, if you are using Lilia and the Velin, then this is a no-brainer. This is exactly what you should pick. If you're going with Lilia and Velin, it's going to do so much damage. And also for the free-to-play player, you can take out Walder 4th skill and replace it with this skill as well. I think it's going to do very, very well on your Walder and Velin for those who are free to play as well. So this is one of the skills that is top of the list from over here. The good thing is that it is epic skill, which means it should be easy for everyone to get. So yeah, this one, you got to keep your eye on this one. You can also use it on your cavalry. You can use it pretty much anywhere. It's a fantastic skill to have. Keeping it going, next on the list we have Fearsome Roar. When hit with a normal attack, Legion has a 20% chance to inflict gloom on the target. reducing their attack by 25% for 4 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 10 seconds. I don't think this is gonna be good on unoffensive ranged units, but could be useful on infantry because it's going to trigger like every 10 seconds. It could be useful if you're going in and out, but I would put this one aside for now. Looks promising on an infantry march. Could be quite useful. I think it's gonna be good for fighting in a 1v1 situation as well, for those long fights. So yeah, this is something to consider. We'll come back to it later. We go on to the next one, known as the Green Board's Master. Legion marksman units gain 15% physical attack and 10% march speed. Gentlemen, here is another perfect skill for your archer heroes. You can slap this on your Syndrion, replace the second skill. There are other legendary skills that I think are better than this one as well for your Syndrion, but this could work quite useful. You could also put this on a Magrat. Take out Magrat. Is it the 4th skill, the one for Garrison? Replace it with this one. You have a Magrat Zeta that is so fast on the field. Because right now so many people use maybe 3 mages and then 1 archer. So this could be useful on a Magrat. Of course, you can also put this on your Nico 2nd skill. Remove that, throw it away, replace it with this one. Inara and Husk. You can take out the Raleigh skill for Husk and put this one. There are many options. We're gonna go on to the next one, known as the Frostbite. Legion deal 15% more hero skill damage. Again, this is another good skill. Unfortunately, you cannot apply this on a Walter and a Velen March, because if you have a skill on 2 of your legions, I think only the primary commander is going to be using the skills, so you cannot put it on the same legion that already has it. But it could be useful on a Lilia Thea. However, with the Lilia Thea, I think what makes Lilia Thea strong is the availability of attack and the defense, which is why I think the all-wind Wield Shield is a much better option for Lilia and Thea. But if you're using Lilia and the Velen, this Frostbite could be a good thing to put on your pairing. Next up, we're gonna go with the Icy Interdiction. This one is Velen 4th skill. When in battle, Legion has 20% chance to inflict magic defense, break and freeze on the target, reducing their magic defense by 20% and their march speed by 20% for 3 seconds. Since Velen already has this skill and he's a regular on your roster, I don't know if you really need this one. It could be useful, but I think there are better options that you can use. And where could you put this skill? A place I see it going is on Tohar, maybe. Removing the Tohar garrisoning skill and then replacing it with this one. Speaking about Tohar, I totally forgot about him. There are some skills here that are going to work well with Tohar as well. The Well Shield, you can put it on Tohar and get some good stuff. Even the Light of Soland, you can put this on a Tohar so that you can boost your Bertrand to do some faster rage skill cycles. It could work quite well. Testing will be required. Did we check this one out? Yep. And then the next one is the Steel Sentinel. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is one of the top 2 skills in the game, probably the best in the game right now. It's gonna be replacing Goresh garrisoning skill. It doesn't matter if you're using your Goresh to rally someone or to garrison. Wait a minute, it's gonna replace Goresh rally skill, just to correct that information. So you could use this Goresh as defense, and you can use the Goresh for rallying other cities. So you get Legion deals 15% more counterattack damage. Fantastic. And all infantry units in the Legion gain 15% HP. Fantastic. And the good thing is this skill is permanent. It is not temporary. That is the beauty of this skill right here. Steel Sentinel, get this skill, guys. It is fantastic. We go on to the next one, known as the Tempered Bark. This one is for Garwood. It says increases the HP of all units in a garrisoned army by 10% while garrisoned in a city or a stronghold. Now, why would you want to waste your time on this tempered bark skill. It is completely useless. It doesn't even compare to the Steel Sentinel. Steel Sentinel beats this skill any day, anytime. What do you get from here? 15% counter attack, 15% HP. Here you only get 10% HP, and it only works when you're garrisoning a city. Nope, nope. You can get this and put this on your Garwood, or you can put it on your Skogul and Mr. Goresh. Put this on a Goresh Skogul. This is the way to go, guys. Next on the list, we have the Watcher's Blade. When Legion enters battle, they gain passion, increasing their rage accumulation speed by 30% for 5 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 30 seconds. All I can say is, guys, don't get fooled by this skill. This skill has a 30-second cooldown. I don't think I'm gonna consider this skill. You get 40% rage skill. If you look at the Light of Soland, this epic skill, it's going to give you more value than the one for the Emrys. This one triggers once every 5 seconds, okay, which is pretty nice. It is awesome. Rage accumulation speed 30%, hero skill damage dealt 30%. This is hands down probably one of the best skills from here. As for the Watcher's Blade, takes effect every 30 seconds. I think you're better off with this one if you want to put it on your mages or your archers. However, you can still use this one. Just know that it is a temporary skill, which means it's going to overwrite other passion skills that you have. So let's say you put this on your Alistair. Let's say you're using Alistair and you replace Alistair Garrison skill, right? I mean Alistair Raleigh skill, and you replace it with this thing. This one is going to overwrite the Light of Soland because it's a little bit stronger. So it'll override this rage accumulation speed of 30% because this one is 40%. So you'll have to test it and see what happens. Is Alistair Garrison or Raleigh? I think he is a Raleigh commander. Yep, he's a Raleigh commander. So yeah, if you swap his Raleigh skill with this Watcher's Blade, I don't think those two are going to stack because they're not permanent. So I would stay away from this Emrys Passion skill and just go with the Light of Soland instead. This is the best way to go. Next on the list, we have the Quickened Blood. This one is from Bakshi. Legion cavalry units gain 10% HP bonus and physical attack of 20%. Well, there you go, guys. For those of you that use Theodore and Corondil, you can take out Theodore Garrison skill and replace it with this thing, and you're good to go. This is going to be fantastic for the open field. This skill is tied to cavalry only, so you can swap out some cavalry skills just to get some good stuff. You can also swap out Alistair Raleigh skill and put this one on top, which should work well for you. You can swap out this new commander Tobin, his garrison skill. Swap it with this one and you have Tobin and Urag just wrecking everybody on the field. It's gonna be awesome. Next on the list, we have Provocation. While in the field, Legion deals 20% more normal attack damage and takes 10% less hero skill damage. This skill is going to be excellent on a Syndrion and a Freyr. It is also going to be excellent on a Magrat and a Zeta. It's going to be excellent on a Nico as well. If you take out Nico peacekeeping skill, no, Nico engineering skills, when you take that out, this is going to replace it and give you some good stuff. Next one on the list, we have a Grey Mars Ballista. When casting rage skill, Legion gains Onslaught and Riposte, increasing normal attack and counter attack damage dealt by 20% each. So 20% normal attack damage, 20% counter attack. You could take this and put it on your Husk. If you're using Kinara and Husk, take out the Husk Raleigh skill and you have a powerful archer mage for the open field. This is what I'm going to be doing. So Kinara and Husk, I'm going to be putting Grey Mars Ballista. And then for Magrat and Zeta, the garrisoning skill, I'm going to be swapping it with this skill right here. Should work efficiently. We're going to need some testing to see how they perform. And then we have a Dream of Peace. When launching a rally, normal attacks have a 50% chance to reduce the target's physical defense by 15% for 3 seconds. Now this is a rally skill. and rally commanders already have probably good rally skills. Like, why the heck would I even want to consider this? Like, what skills are you going to take out? For example, if you're sending Goresh to rally someone, would you put this on your heroes? Maybe you could take out, let's say you're doing Goresh primary, Skogul secondary, you're going to rally someone. You can take out the Skogul skill, the one that gives you healing, I do believe, 350 healing from Skogul. You can replace that with this skill. I think you could get some good value. Let's go to the hero section and check out the Skogul skill I'm talking about. If you're going to be doing Goresh and Skogul to rally, this is Goresh. Now let's check out Skogul. We have Legion has a 10% chance to receive healing when hit with a normal attack. Healing factor 350. This effect can be triggered once every 5 seconds. So this is what you can switch with that Husk rally skill, which is this one here. When launching a rally, normal attacks have a 50% chance to reduce the target's physical defense by 15% for 3 seconds. So yep, this is the way to go if you're gonna be doing a lot of rallies. Let's keep this pushing, guys. We're almost at the end game. Next on the list, we have the Oracle's Grace. While in the field, Legion attack is increased by 15% and they take 15% less hero skill damage. This is like an upgraded version of this aerial formation skill right here. This one is 10% defense. And then over here you get 10% HP. Over here you get damage taken reduction of 10%. But yeah, Oracle's Grace is another skill you can put on your heroes. You can put this on your Syndrion. You could be surprised at what it does for you, because 15% increased attack on an archer. This is fantastic. And the good thing is the skill is permanent. You can also put this on your Magrat and Zeta. You take out Magrat Garrison skill and you put this skill over there. The 15% physical attack might be very useful. It might even be more stronger than this one right here, but we never know until we try it out. So this 15% attack is amazing, especially for your archers. Archers have a good physical attack. This is going to be useful for them. And then the last one on the list is Rejuvenating Blessing. Increases Legion HP by 20% and maximum Legion capacity by 7%. It's gonna work well on pretty much any hero that you want. It's gonna work well on your infantry, obviously, making them a little bit tanky. But you can try this on your Lilia Thea, Lilia second skill. You have a higher troop capacity, and you know Lilia has a crazy skill damage. You increase your troop capacity, and then you increase the damage of your scorching as well. So don't write this skill off for Lilia and Athea. You can give it a shot. It can be quite useful. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are all the mastery skills available in the Season of Strife. We have some really good ones like the Light of Soland and the Steel Sentinel for Madeline. Also, the Oracle's Grace is fantastic. We have Provocation and Grey Mars Ballista. Those are the best skills that we have on the list. This Frostbite is also promising. Of course, we're gonna have to do some testing on the field to see how all of these skills work. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to know what the best skills are going to be in the future when we do the testing. If you're new, subscribe for more videos. Let me know down below which one of these skills you're going to be picking for your heroes. Until then, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.